So, season 6 of Game of Thrones premieres next Sunday. So, in honor of that, here are the top 5 reasons Game of Thrones is the best fantasy show on TV. Hands down. Number 5, Ned Stark dying in the first season. I'm not happy that Ned Stark is dead. Far from it. The show was basically built around him and his family. He was the moral center of the show. The posters advertising the first season had him. He was the only character on those posters. He was basically the main character of the show. And on any other show, that meant his survival would be inevitable. But his death signaled to uninitiated viewers that this was not that type of show. No one was safe. Anything could happen. When it happened, I was upset, but also intrigued. On a lesser show, I probably would have stopped watching, but this show was just too good to let it go. Number 4, Tyrion Lannister being generally awesome. His character was a joke to the other characters on the show, basically because he was a dwarf. But he was a king to the viewers because of his humor and wit. It soon became evident that he was one of the smartest people in Westeros, and had it not been for his handicap, he could have been king. There were so many times that he was on the verge of death, and he managed to talk his way out of it. He's still alive to this day when he really should be dead, like 3 times over. But like the meme about Tyrion says, you can't spell pimp without imp. Number 3, Arya Stark, for just plain surviving. And in a world full of female victims, just look to her sister Sansa Stark as an example. Arya manages to handle every obstacle thrown her way, whether it's by learning how to fight, pretending to be a boy, using someone's honor code against them to help win her freedom, or teaming up with the enemy. Arya finds a way to make it through, and she suffered a setback in the season 5 finale, but I do not doubt that she will bounce back. Number 2, the Red Wedding. This was just a reminder of the lesson we learned after Ned Stark's death. After he died, his very young, very inexperienced son raised an army to get revenge. I thought we were going to be mourning his death within a couple of episodes, but Robb Stark surprised us all and began to win every battle he rode into. But for all of us not paying attention, we learned that you can win every battle and still lose the war. This became evident in the Red Wedding when Robb lost fighting a battle he didn't realize he was fighting. And finally, the number 1 reason that Game of Thrones is the best fantasy show on TV is the rise and fall of Jon Snow. Another one of Ned's children, the 3rd on this list, but this one is a bastard. Like Robb, he was formed by his father to be an excellent fighter and an honorable man. Like his sister Arya, he was able to survive when he found himself in enemy territory. And when he first joined the Night's Watch, his peers jokingly called him Lord Snow. But he was able to rise and become the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. He did this after he realized that there were some bigger things going on in Westeros than the war that his brother was fighting, and that he needed to step up in order to protect the entire kingdom. But also like Robb, he died in a battle that he didn't realize he was fighting when his small-minded underlings killed him for giving shelter to the wildlings. They didn't realize that if they didn't give shelter to the wildlings now, that they would be fighting their undying corpses later. But I hope they realize their folly real soon, and I hope they pay dearly for it. So what are some of your favorite moments from Game of Thrones? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned to my channel for new videos that will be recapping episodes from season 6 of Game of Thrones this season. And remember, sharing is caring. Share this video with all of your friends and enemies. Gotta go. See you when I see ya.